And singer David, accused of murdering Celeste Rivas Hernandez. A couple of really grim stories. Fox Local's Christina Gonzalez is live at the Criminal Courts building in downtown LA with the very latest on both cases this afternoon. Christina, a really busy day.
Oh, Marla, I just literally ran out of the David courtroom. And I'm going to warn everybody because what's happened today we did not expect. They're setting a preliminary hearing for May 26. And what happened today, the big deal today, was that there was actually an argument between the defense and prosecutors because the prosecutors filed what they believe is their case to be presented at the preliminary hearing. Now, at that point, the defense stood up and said, we don't want the public to hear this. They tried to seal it because it is very, very disturbing. I have been able to obtain this. The judge agreed that it does not have to be sealed, so we, the media, can get it and present it to the people who you listening. But I want to warn you before I read some of these elements, this is disturbing stuff. And it's a good reason why they wanted it sealed, the defense. Let me show you some video, but please be aware, I'm going to try to be as tasteful as I can. But in essence, what the prosecution is saying is that David Burke met Celeste Rivas when she was 11 years old and he was 18. They started dating when she was 13, he was 18, and they started a sexual relationship. Now, they believed her parents found out, took her cell phone away because she kept on running away from him. And we've heard about this before. But he actually bought her a cell phone at her junior high school and actually, had it delivered to her. Now, they did have a sexual relationship for quite some time. She ran away. But here is, and I warn you, this is where it gets really crazy. According to the prosecution, the night before they believe she was killed, April 23rd, the night of the 22nd, there was a big fight, and they went back and forth with text messages. She was upset because he was seeing other girls, and she was threatening in those text messages to disclose information about him that would get him in trouble and, quote, ruin his career. So he actually gets an Uber for her, according to prosecutors, and has her delivered to his home that day, April 23rd, to come to the house. He pays the Uber to drop her off, and according to them, that is when he kills her. He say he stabbed her to death, and he actually waited, according to this complaint, until she, quote unquote, bled out. Then he took her phone, traveled to Santa Barbara, and kept on calling, texting her, saying, where are you, where are you? As her body is sitting in her house, again, according to prosecutors. I want to underline that David has declared himself not guilty, okay, of all this already in court, of any charges or whatever may happen. So he goes to Santa Barbara, and that's where, according to the complaint, investigators actually found her ID and some of her stuff. Then he returns home, and get ready for this, he starts ordering on Amazon the tools that they say he used to dismember her body, including, and I kid you not, a burn cage and shovels and all kinds of things. Has the stuff delivered, and according to them, because they served a search warrant in his garage, this is where he supposedly did this, he proceeded to dismember her body. Specifically, Jaring is taking away her pinky finger because his name was tattooed on it. Again, these are allegations by the prosecution. He has pled not guilty, and this is the case they plan to present at the preliminary hearing on May 26. They say that they have biological evidence, her DNA in the garage, in items left over from the pool, that kind of thing. Now, the defense wanted all this squashed because they said this is prejudicial to him, obviously. The prosecution in court was saying, of course it's prejudicial, it's our case against them. The judge decided, we do not seal this from the public. The defense said, well, how are you not going to taint the jury pool? And what the judge said is, LA is big enough, the jury pool's big enough, and they have enough cases like this that by the time we get to a trial, which probably will be in a few years, the jury pool will be able to find people who are not biased by this. Now, it goes on. I mean, I'm still reading through this paperwork, and I'm going to have a lot more at 5 o'clock. But, supposedly he drove the Tesla, and purposely he left her and the Tesla at the locations so that her body would decompose, according to prosecutors, thinking that it would be much more difficult for them to tie her to him. It's it's a really
Gruesome.
really disturbing. It's I'm just giving you the highlights.
Right.
And it's disturbing. And he was in court. Obviously, this was not read in court today, but he looks scared. He looks very alert. He's working with his attorneys. He has 3 female attorneys, very good attorneys. The prosecution also has a female attorney, so it's all women around this little guy. He's tiny. It amazes me how little he is. He's a very small-framed man. He was very alert, but he looks scared. And if this is what the prosecution says they can prove in their preliminary hearing, this is scary for them. The May 26th, they wanted, the defense had initially said, hey, let's do it Friday. And the prosecution called them on it, said, okay, let's do it Friday, but Friday's May Day. And they're expecting protests. The judge was saying, we're going to have protests downtown. Do you really want to do this? And then the defense, when they said they had just filed this motion, he said, wait a minute, no, we need some time to go over some evidence, and they're still getting stuff, so they decided on May 26th. So that is when we will probably get more of this information. And it looks like a very difficult case and a disturbing case against this young man. But again, he has pled not guilty, he has good attorneys, and they say they intend to prove that he didn't do this. So we'll have to see what happens.